Thanks, guys, and thanks for joining us today, Gwen. So can you tell me all about how Start Something Big started?
That is a great question. How it actually started was when I graduated in last year, June of 2010. Actually, it's 2012 now. 2 years ago, I graduated. Wow. I really just got really stuck because I wasn't sure where to go. I didn't know how to advance in life. I was really just in Beaverton reading about successful people and trying to learn from how they got to where they are. And I got to a point where it was just the breakdown before the breakthrough. I had a conversation with a friend who was like, Gwen, you are super delusional. You're just reading about successful people and not taking any action. So in that moment, I just had that epiphany, oh my God. I decided I really want to find out how people start. So I started researching people and how they started their careers, like Mark Burnett, Craig Kielburger, because I couldn't relate to them where they were when they were really successful, but I can relate to them where they started. So that idea turned into a blog, then I put it down on paper into a treatment, pitched it to Rogers TV, and yeah, here we are. I have a second season of the show. Crazy.
So how did it feel to pitch it to Rogers TV in the first place? You're a recent grad and you're with a bunch of industry professionals. Was it intimidating or?
It was such a surreal moment because I had this amazing internship where it was in series development in California at MTV, and I got to be in those meetings at the end of the internship and see what it's like to actually be on the other side receiving the pitch. So I learned so much in that internship, even though it was so expensive and so so crazy to go out there. So when I was in that meeting doing the pitch, I just tried to channel all of the successful people I've seen pitching and just tried to be myself. The show is just an expression of who I want to be in the world. So it's just be you. Of course, if they don't like it, they'll be rejecting you, but that's okay. Just go with it. So it was very surreal.
And where were you when you found out that the pitch had gone through and you were going to have a pilot episode?
So funny. I'm trying to think exactly where it was. I think I got an email from our cameraman, just kind of offhand, hey, I heard you're on the roster for the season, and I was like, what? Oh, I was at my other job. And I was like, okay. And then I immediately emailed one of the co-producers and was like, I think we have a TV show. And it was so exciting. It was just that feeling in your gut, oh my God, something's happening. So it was so exciting.
So the show is in its second season now, and how's it going?
Oh man, it is a whirlwind. We filmed the first season in 6 months. We're filming the second season in 6 to 8 weeks. So it's been such a challenge in balancing time because doing this show is amazing and it's all volunteer. So I also have another job, which is a full-time job, which is at the CBC, and it's awesome. But this is just really exciting because it's my passion. So it's just balancing time and friends and family in there, and sleeping is sometimes fun.
So where do you see the show going in the future?
Whenever I tell people about the concept of the show, they think it's simple. It's how do people start and how do people get to where they are? So I'd love to see it grow and go onto a national network, or even have spin-offs of the show within Rogers to go to different, go to Ottawa or go to other places in Ontario. But ultimately, my dream goal would be to have a show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. So whether in Canada, the States, or both, to be on that network, to me, who I'd have to become is so inspiring to me, because I don't know, I'd have to grow so much. So that's the dream right now.
Awesome. So what kind of advice would you give to recent grads or students who are in your position and want to do something like you did?
Well, my first advice is to graduate and sleep on your parents' couch for a few months. No, I think if you take a little bit of time off just to reevaluate, what do you actually want to do, and then go after it. At the time, I thought it was a bad idea, but it was great. It really got me into action faster after I was in that down time. But it's all about just take that first action. Start. Send that email. Make that phone call. Tell people what you're up to, and they'll want to support you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Gwen. Back to you guys at the desk.